My name is Shannon Roberts. I'm an industrial engineering professor at the University of Massachusetts Amherst. When I was a freshman at MIT, I had a really great research supervisor, Brian Reamer. He saw a lot of talent in me. He gave me more research responsibilities. So when it came time to graduate, Brian said to me, "You're really good at this. I think you should go to graduate school." I decided to go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for my master's degree. Again, I had another really great research supervisor, John Lee, and he said to me within my first, semester of being there, "I think you would be a really good professor. You should stay, get your PhD, and teach students, do research for a living." I took his advice. I stayed beyond my master's. I continued on to get my PhD, and eventually I became a professor at UMass. Both Brian and John are very different from me. They're men, and they're not an underrepresented minority. And so the way that we connected, Brian specifically, he always had a really great sense of humor. He always made me laugh, and I felt comfortable being around him and didn't feel like a tight or a stiff environment. It was very relaxed. My PhD advisor, John Lee, he makes sure to connect with you on a more personal level, asking questions about my interests, my hobbies, my family, my hometown, what food I liked, which made me feel like he really valued who I was as a person and not just, what I was doing in terms of research. So this new project I have that's funded by the Institute of Diversity Sciences is specifically focused on Black pregnant women in Western Massachusetts and how they travel to and from their prenatal appointments. So we know in general, Black pregnant women have higher rates of mortality and morbidity than, for example, their white counterparts. And we sort of know why this is the case, but we also know that there are some opportunities for improvement. I met at a mixer professors from nutrition and nursing who specifically focus on Black maternal health. And so they take this lens of, we know that there are disparities that exist. How can we address them with this healthcare lens? Me as the engineer, I say, how can we design technology? How can we engineer solutions that can mitigate the risk for this vulnerable population? As one example, it could be the case that prenatal appointments are scheduled at a certain time of day and buses run at a different time of day. So we can do a sort of optimization algorithm to match appointment times to bus schedules. It could also be a more complex solution. So for example, if we have a mother who is pregnant but also has other young children that she needs to travel to the appointment with, maybe we can design buses to better fit strollers. We also don't know the innovative solutions that they've come up with to address their concerns. If there's any way that, we can amplify the things that work, engineer more of those solutions naturally into the system so that it helps more people, that would definitely be a win for me as an engineer, but also it's a win for my nutrition and nursing colleagues. And a lot of the tips that I give students have to do with perseverance. So one tip that I often give is the worst they can do is say no, which means apply. Go out there, be bold, take the initiative. The worst they're gonna do is say no to you, which really isn't that bad. The other advice that I tend to give students is try again. But sometimes students don't know that. They don't know that, again, the worst they can do is say no, and that you can apply and apply and apply again and again and again until you get that thing that you really want. What I really want to do is inspire them to use their engineering skill set to make the world a better place. Make something that will make someone's life easier, better, safer. Do something with all of this power that you have as an engineer to make the world a better place.